All right, so I just finished my update video and we've played around with some other teams, and this is Deesa 11, and we're kind of in the same situation we were in with 10, but we do have a reliable 10 clear now. So I thought we would come in and just talk about that team real quick. I dropped Artist from the front line, and I've got my 2 healers up front, and then I'm doing Botmark, Taylor, and Nagrama, because Nagrama is I think one of my better damage dealers right now, and that's solved the problem of multi-hits for us. And then again, our front line is pretty squared away because between Masrani and Serena, I almost forgot her name for a second. They can handle it just fine. So I think what we'll do is we'll do another run so we can see it in action, and then we can go and talk about how everybody's built specifically if you want that for reference. Let me restart real quick because I wanted to show you the setup down here. I'm running Brynhild for Botmark 2 and Taylor. I'm running my 5th element that we got from that last event, Astral Strike, because it's the only legendary one I have, and it gives me the best stat boost. I'm not actually running any tanks, so it doesn't matter there. And then Coronate, which for this slot is just incredible. It's such a good prototype. So if you can get your hands on Coronate, it is fantastic. It is such a boost to your healers, and we've been lucky to snag a few copies of it. So Coordinate's one of those prototypes that you can level up all the way as you get your copies of it and evolve it. It's really, really good. So let's jump in here and let him do the thing. It's really not a dangerous run. At least it wasn't the time when we did it last time. Hopefully I did click 10 again, but yeah, it takes care of our issue. I do like Artist for this because I do like his debuff. I think he's a great boss debuffer, but I'm just having trouble keeping him alive right now. He's not as strong as my Artist was on my main account at this particular point in time. So we've got to get some better gear on him. And I mean, if we can keep doing it without him, I reckon that's fine. If we can manage this 2 healer setup for a little bit until we get to a point where maybe we can afford to drop one of them. Again, that's the idea, is to get to a point where we only need 1 healer in here, and that's going to make our lives a lot easier. But obviously our stats have to scale up quite a bit. But this is working for me, so I figured I'd just show you guys really quickly in case you wanted to use it as a point of reference. I've talked a lot about Botmark 2 in here. I'm a big fan, and you'll get people occasionally say he's going to fall off in the higher stages. He is still on my team on my main account as well that runs 15 in about a minute. So Botmark 2 is in no danger of falling off in here. And what he offers to the fight is really, really nice for the damage ramp up. He's not doing a ton of damage himself because I don't have him built for damage. I build him for survivability because he is a little squishy, and I just let him bring the effect that he brings. So you just need to make sure you have crit on him, and then that he can stay alive. And beyond that, Taylor and Nagrama. What's impressive to me, and he does have a few evolution stages on him, but Nagrama is outdamaging my Taylor, which is kind of dope. I would assume Taylor closes the gap as the fight goes on, as he buffs his own crit and stuff, but pretty dope. So still not a speedy run by any stretch, but I do feel like it'll be a very reliable run. We have no problem with the shield. I don't think we're ever in any danger of going down. And again, even in 11, sustain is not the issue. The issue in 11 is the time limit. So as we scale up damage, maybe we get another few evolutions in Taylor. Maybe we, start to get some better gear now that we can farm 10. Maybe get a few more evolutions in Botmark. Even though he's not built for damage, as we scale up the damage stats, he will be able to contribute a little bit more. He still dropped over 1 million so far too, so it's not like Botmark 2 is doing nothing. He's just not on par with my others. And actually Nagrama seems to be... Yeah, Nagrama's pulling away from Taylor, actually. I kind of thought Taylor would close the gap, but Nagrama's pulling away, so that's great. Yeah, no danger at all. We're totally totally safe here. I think the only thing that could present a problem would be like a bad roll when the shield comes up, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think this is going to be pretty reliable. And it's going to be so nice to start getting some legendary gear on our champs. Obviously, it's going to trickle in slowly because the drop rate in 10 isn't for the roof or anything, but whew, it's close. There you go. There's our 10 clear. So we'll probably do this a few times. I don't think I'll unload all of my stamina in here, but I will drop a few. I mean, even if it's not the right set, these gloves are still going to be great because I can still just put them somewhere on one of my healers or something, you know what I mean? And that's such a big bump to their HP. So yeah, this is going to be pretty huge for us. So I don't think I'm going to unload all my stamina, like I said, but I am going to get quite a few runs in here. And also too, we're going to start getting a lot more mythic gear. So the account is about to take a pretty big step forward, I think. Real quick, if you want to look at everybody's setup, obviously we're just trying to go HP across the bottom. I need to get him an HP percentage helmet here, but it's HP across the bottom for Masrani. Basically just shoot his HP up as high as you can get it with sets and main stats. Nagrama, we've got crit damage, attack. His crit rate's probably a little bit low to justify having crit damage there, but that's just kind of how things came together for him. So maybe as we get some better gear and we can isolate things a little bit more, maybe we'll lean more crit rate here and then work to, in the future, get him back on crit damage gloves. But he's still doing fine like that. But again, he's kind of standard attack. We've got, who else on the team? Who else was on the team? Taylor. Oh, there you go. We know how to build Taylor. I've talked about how to build Taylor in several videos. Basically, crit is his most important stat. So you do want attack and you do want crit damage, but especially on Taylor, crit rate is the most important thing. You need him to be landing crit hits so that you get the full effect of his kit. The more times he lands critical hits, the more he's going to take care of his own crit damage and buff his own stats up. All right, so basically crit rate everywhere you can get it on Taylor. Get back in here. So we've got crit rate there, and then attack across the bottom. If you can get full sun signet sets on him, great. You want his crit rate as absolutely high as you can get it, and then you want to start worrying about attack and crit damage and stuff, all right? Next, we had Botmark, who, again, I have built for survivability, so we've got HP, crit rate. Kind of in the same sense as Taylor, you want crit rate as absolutely high as you can get it. If Botmark 2 is not critting, he is not contributing, basically. Taylor's still going to be outputting damage, so if his crit rate is 50-50, then fine. He'll still do what he needs to do over time. Botmark 2 needs absolutely as much crit rate as you can manage on him, because... where is it? Where is it? She's it's a laser. I can stack up to 8 times. Yeah, here it is. I was looking for crit hit. When Spider Artillery, which is his name, lands a critical strike, 60% chance to decrease the enemy's defense by 4% for 6 seconds. This effect can stack up to 8 times, reducing the target's defense by up to 32%. And then eventually I want to get his talents done too. But the more he's critting, the more defense reduction you're getting on the boss, which is going to create these windows of just intense damage ramp up, and you need that happening as often as possible. And it's on every one of his skills, right? Because it's just a passive. So every time he crits, it triggers this, and it adds up. It's a huge contribution. So you need to make sure that he's landing crit hits. And then Serena, again, I think we're all pretty squared away on Serena. HP across the bottom. You could justify, if you wanted to, damage reduction on the boots, but she's going to heal less because her healing is going to scale off of her HP. So it's really not a bad idea to just get HP across the bottom. So that's it. That's a quick look at everybody. And we talked about prototypes and commander. So if you want to use that for reference, that's how my free-to-play account is going to be running Deesa for now. And I think what we're going to do is kind of focus on them and just improving their damage. That seems like a team that's going to do it for us for a little bit. And then over time, we're going to work to graduate ourselves out of the 2 healer setup. So that's it. Just a quick video to go over that progress. Hopefully it helps. That's it. Get out of here. Later.